After the disappointment of seeing the men only get a 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace last night, today the focus turns on to the ladies as they travel up north to Manchester to take on, well, one of the other two teams that have also got no points so far this season. Probably a little bit more surprisingly, Manchester City. This is Leicester Till I Die TV, the watch-along for your Manchester City versus Leicester City women. Good afternoon.
It's time! Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and your favourite podcasts. Till I Die TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
And now, here's your host.
Right, Chris.
All right, guys, how the devil are we? As my little friend Mini Me says there. Yeah, it's Sunday. It's the women's turn. It can't be any worse than the men, can they? Well, yes, at the moment. It is a little bit worse, but they won last week. I've got to say hello to Spencer. Excuse me. I've got to say hello to Spencer here and get his comments up. Good afternoon, Spencer. How the devil are you, sir? Let's hope it's not too hot. I didn't understand this earlier on in the show we did this morning for the review of the Spurs game, of the Palace game. Terry mentioned he couldn't make it because it was too hot, and it was only when I actually during the show this morning played the interview after the show with the Leicester City TV. God, what he said. I mean, the guy. I'm going to just say this, and then I'm going to move on, because I've called him Brenda Bellend before. Now, I'm sorry, it's bullshit, Brenda. It was too hot when we played Brentford. That was in August. So I kind of could get that. But then he only made 2 substitutions out of 5. He complained that we were a young team when we played Arsenal. And yet when we played Southampton, they had the youngest team ever in the Premier League starting 11. And they still beat us 2-1. So, Brendan, you're full of bullshit, mate. If you want to know the excuse about why we're playing like we're playing, get a mirror out, look in it, and go, that's the excuse. Hopefully we're going to be joined by Brad. He rose this morning. He went back to bed, so we're waiting to see whether he can rise again. His laptop's running a little bit slow. So it's the women's turn. It is the women's turn. And hopefully we're going to be able to get... Not a live. Well, this is going to be live. You know how these watch-alongs work. I'm hoping to get the graphic going in the middle. Fingers crossed that will work. Took me a while to find it. I'm not going to lie. But come on. We can do this. The women can do this. I mean, obviously we didn't play last weekend due to the internationals, and I believe I can fly. I believe that Badale and Skinner are bringing out an updated version of 3 Lions to include the women's success. Milking, maybe just a little bit. But then again, it is the best ever football song. Although you're too young to remember this, but I quite like the Back Home from the 1970 World Cup, and this time, which was like the BA theme, I think at the time, maybe they were sponsoring us. This time more than any other time from 1982. But you'll never ever beat Three Lions. Let's be honest with you. But what a win for the ladies last week. You know, we were unbeaten this year as European champions as well. The Americans, world champions, number one in the world. And you know what? We beat them. They were unbeaten as well, and we beat them. So does that not make us world champions now, or universal champions, or champions of the galaxy or something? I don't know. Oh, God, I don't know. Mike, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day. A man who is having a lot worse of a season, if it's possible, than Leicester. And that's only because Newport County are in the fourth tier. And, of course, if they get relegated, it's big. It is very big. Lost to the bottom side yesterday. Sorry to remind you, Mike. Don't know where that leaves you now, but welcome along, sir. Thanks for popping on. Facebook user is in Skeggy, Skeg Vegas. How the devil are you, sir? I'm not sure who you are. I'm not going to lie, because you haven't put your name on the end, and I can't see who you are at the moment. So, but I hope it's not too hot there for you. Did I say that out loud? I think, unfortunately, I probably did. Kickoff is at 2:00, and we are looking forward to it. So let's just see what we can look at for the ladies. Something for the ladies. Where are we here? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we go. Right. So far this season, we are looking at. Well, there's 3 teams that have yet to get a point. 3 teams. Unfortunately, we've played 3 games. The other 2 teams have only played 2. Manchester City are in 10th, which it sounds all right, but of course there's only 12 teams in the Women's Super League. So they are sat there on 10th with no points. 3 goals scored, 6 against, -3. We are in 11th, having played a game extra. 3 games played, like I say, 1 goal scored, 5 against, -4 points. Reading bottom, 2 games played, none won, 2 lost, 1 scored, 6 conceded, -5 goal difference. No points. Tottenham are in 9th on 3. Liverpool, who are sitting there in their 7th, they got promoted at the last end of the season, and they beat Chelsea. They beat on the first day, I believe it was. Who are sitting currently, well, of course, are current champions and are sitting atop of the table. So well done, Liverpool, for doing that. Man City, I'm surprised at where they are. I'm not going to lie. If we take a look at last season, and why shouldn't we? Let's take a look at last season, because Reading finished 8th. 25 points. We were 11th, of course, on 11 points. 13 points. Sorry, should have gone to Specsavers. Birmingham City were bottom and got relegated on 11. Sorry. Manchester City were 3rd last season. Played 22, won 15. They lost 5, but there were 18 plus goal difference in favour of them. 47 points on the board. So that's why I am surprised from 3rd top to 3rd bottom. What is going wrong at Manchester City? Got to ask, haven't you? Mike says Newport are 19th. Ouch. 2 points above the drop. Oh. And is It's one team goes down, I believe. Still, is it not from League Two? But I would be pooing myself a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. Look, this is Leicester Till I Die TV. This is where you can
watch us on YouTube. Listen on your favourite podcast platform, or ask your smart speaker to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die. Broadcasting live worldwide.
Indeed, and also don't forget we have a radio station now as well, LTID Radio. 2 ways to find us. Go onto our own website, all the W's at all the W's .leicestertillidie.com/radio. There's a link there, or go straight to it, mixcloud.com/LTID Radio. Got a competition, got a battle of the sexes on tonight, as say Brad has just come in, as Dan takes on Kate. So you'll hear Kate in full voice. Battle of the Sexes with the intro songs competition. Dan's feeling very, very confident. That's at 9 o'clock this evening. Let's welcome him in. He's got it up and running. He's put his batteries in. He's got the little mouse running around the little circular thing a little bit faster. Brad, the second coming.
Well, there's a story there, but we won't go there, shall we? It's not that time of night.
Well, that's why you were late. I've got to give you credit, mate.
Well, you know, see, the clock's just grasped me up straight away. Oh, yeah.
But it is the watch along, and we are going to be doing that, and that's what we're here for.
Leicester Till I Die Watch Along show. Join in the chat and don't forget to subscribe.
Manchester City, third top at the end of last season, third bottom at the start of this one, Brad.
Yeah, but they had a poor start to the season last season. I think they had a few injury crises, and they still went on to win the thing. So you can never discount this Manchester City women's side. They're just as impressive as winning as the men's team are in this division. But I think Leicester have got to take a lot of positives going into it after their big victory against Blackburn Rovers in the Cup. That would have done them confidence. And like you said, I think you said they've already been beaten this season, Man City. So if there's a good a time as any to get something from this game, it's the form they're in now.
Yes.
And hopefully my app will let me watch it, because it's been a pain in it. Today's going wrong, mate. Can I cancel today? Is it too late?
Go back to bed, mate. Go back to bed. We were unlucky. Yeah, we did. I mean, we beat Blackburn Rovers in the Cup, Continental Cup, which is the women's version of the League Cup, and it's very much based on the league system rather than knockout. But it was a win, and we were unlucky not to get a point at Everton.
Yeah, we were. I mean, that was the weekend for goalkeepers for Leicester, and not in a nice way, was it? Because it was so unavoidable. The girls had worked really hard to keep that game to 0-0 for, well, been more deservedly taking a point back, and you'd have thought it was a really good point. And then, look, sometimes as goalkeepers, we make saves, and sometimes we question whether they're necessary or not. And unfortunately, it was like I said, it seemed to be the Leicester way that, it went in and deflected back out, and they lost the game in cruel fashion. So it was good to get the return against Blackburn, because that could have been, what they call a banana skin, couldn't they, Chris?
Yes,
given the way they've lost games.
We've got a couple of huddles on the pitch at the moment.
My app's let me back in, so I'm just gonna.
I'm hoping that this week, because the first week we didn't actually get a.
No, it's at the Academy Stadium, but I've not got a stream yet. Oh yeah, see it now. I'll turn my volume down. That's better. I mean, it's going to be a hard task, Chris. I think this might be one where we kind of do the contrast to Leicester against Crystal Palace, and we say this could be about the performance because we know we're in for a tough season. Last season, we had a little bit of a good patch that was good enough to overcome staying over at Birmingham City, but we know that we're not expecting too much from these girls. If they can stay in the league, that's the number one objective. But last season as well, they were getting thrashed in these games, weren't they, Chris? And
Yes.
if they lose today, which they're expecting, obviously if they nick something, it's brilliant, and that's what we're hoping for. But you just feel that even if they do lose, if they can keep themselves in the game and feel like they had chances, I think you'll see that they're going in the right direction.
Yes. Nice to see they're just taking the knee.
Yeah.
They've kicked off in the little graphic in the middle. Leicester City in their away strip of black and dark green police stripes. Manchester City in their usual sky blue and white with sky blue socks. Manchester City kicking off from left to right. Leicester City playing right to left. However, on the stream, it may be different, and it doesn't change at half time on the stream. They've got it right at the moment, but they do only do it one way. Tale of Two Cities, Brad.
Yeah,
I had to get that in.
I mean, that's impressive. I mean, I would say it's taking you 17 minutes, but realistically, it's taking you 26 minutes for that punt to come out. To get a counter in the corner, see how many times it comes up. But yeah, and again, this is a very tough task for the ladies. They'll probably feel aggrieved they haven't got points on the board yet. But this is where they have to show the knit and grit and what they're capable of this division. I say Man City are struggling, but we've seen that before, like I said last season. So it might be the best time to strike, but you've still got to be very wary of what Man City can pose if you let them play their game naturally.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
I think this might be a cagey 15 minutes from Leicester. They'll try and probably restrict Man City in that early stages and play up like they have there, hopefully, and take these breakaways.
Oh,
that's a unlucky ideas there, though, Chris. That's
that was I was about to say lovely through ball. Didn't quite come off. A bit like watching the men, but lovely attempt. I mean, there's a nice few passes building up in that move, and a lovely attempt at the end to.
Some high press here. That's a. Oh God, we had enough heart in mouths moments yesterday. I like to see it though, and I'm liking the intent. I think that's where Leicester really suffered last season, Chris, because when they came up against a Chelsea or a Man City, they kind of just went, let's try not to concede that many and just. They took it as a free hit, which given where they were in the league and probably where they were at certain points playing them teams, because at one point I think we were 5 points clear with Birmingham with games running out, and maybe they just thought it's a free hit. But nice to see a bit of front foot aggression from them early doors. So not going to just try and do a Brendan and see a 0-0 here. Hopefully,
no, they've gone for it, and that's interesting. I mean, she really did close the keeper down quickly.
Yeah, what's to say the definition of insanity is? Trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Oh, go on!
The through here. Oh, just over hit the pass, and it's just.
You sound like you are almost equal. I'm on 240.
Yeah, I'm literally half a second behind.
There we go then. I thought we were pretty close. Both ends behind the goal are empty.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, that one. I don't know if it's more for the ticket price. They want to maybe use that as a banner and try and get bumped in seats sort of thing in terms of a little bit of income, maybe. I don't know. You think you'd want fans behind the goal because you could be really intimidating behind the goal, I feel like in these close quarter grounds like this one is, it's lovely to see that they've got a stand and that built for it, and obviously Man City very, very well looked after in terms of all their clubs aspects of teams. As Man City break down the right here, first time they've had a chance to get clear, and Bot is struggling to keep up there. The number 9's twisting and turning, but Bot does some great defending. Still not clear though, and Bot gets a foot in, and it's cleared to the edge of the box, but still with Man City holding the ball on the edge of the box. It's gone out wide to the number 2. plays it back down right, and number 9 Bot comes in with an interception. I think that's O'Brien back there. I can't see the shirt number. I am still trying to get used to them. And it's out for a corner. Just the goalkeeper there tried to stop it.
Yeah, the number 23 there for Leicester down the left, this near side, that left side, she was being run ragged.
Yes, she was, and it's great to show that resilience and come back and try and do it.
She wasn't giving up, in fairness, but
yes.
she was being led a merry dance. But it's
She
a corner,
was.
as you say, short corner.
Short corner here to number 9. Tries to bust it. Ooh. It's played across the box now. It's into the middle of goal, 30 yards out. It's held up by the Manchester midfield here. Out to the number 9. Crosses in, and it's half dealt with. And
Goalkeeper wasn't sure what to do there, was she?
Yeah. Keeper went for it, but then the defender obviously gave a shout, and it's out back over just inside the Leicester City half on the left hand side. It's a throw in to Manchester City.
It was a bit of indecision. Indecision. That's the word from the Leicester goalkeeper.
I'll use the dictionary, mate. I'll use the dictionary. You use the thesaurus.
But yeah, I'm glad she didn't come because I think she could have left herself vulnerable. But
yeah. Well, it was dealt with in a manner, and early doors, Man City seemingly favouring this right hand side. I know commentator says that, and look, they go on the left. I didn't see Man City shape. I know ours is a 3-5.
Oh, what a save!
Save! Great save by the goalkeeper, and the gets the block, and the block is in by Bot. That was a fantastic save by the keeper.
Somebody go over and pat on the head for that. Jesus, that was a great save.
Yeah, I mean, just as this is probably it takes a wicked deflection off the foot, but the outstretched legs on number 10 for Man City, she must have thought she scored, but for a great reactive save.
Would you not have gone in with your head there, though?
I think maybe, but with the way things are with the ruling on heading and all that, I think players tend to rather go in with a boot, and it puts the goalkeeper off more than I think with the head. It's probably easy to come wide. The corner comes in low for Man City, and it's scrambling around. It's not clear. The shot comes in. It's just wide. It has gone for a corner.
I hope we're not going to have 90 minutes of this because we are hanging on again here.
This is a problem, though, Chris. This is why I say these are impressive. It's I don't know if it's a false position in terms of how they've been playing, but it's a position that you know that you don't expect Man City to be staying in too long. And we have to expect this. And I think that's what I said earlier, though, Chris. I think it's about how we manage it as the header goes out for another Man City corner.
At least we're correct with the time because the time is matching the banner going across around the pitch.
I know, right? That's beautiful.
Is this 3 on the trot?
I think it is. Because it's a sentence in near post. Let's get it clear.
That was a
rush clearance there. A rush clearance at the end of the box. Just give Man City the ball back. Comes inside, cross sent over, but it's over everybody. And Leicester should clear here. They get a chance to send it long, but she divers on the ball. And the free kick is given. I think it's awarded. Referees definitely give a decision in Leicester's favour, either the throw-in or the free kick. Did see a little bit rash by the Manchester City number 21 there, Chris. A bit of frustration that the move came to nothing, or should she get more?
I think it's early days. She doesn't look happy, the Leicester player. It's early days, I think, for frustration. But yeah, I mean, we are looking shaky in defence. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think had that Manchester City player gone in with the head rather than the foot, who knows? But she went in with the foot, and she did well. The Leicester goalkeeper. It was a very last-minute reaction, but she got to the ball. But
that's what matters, Chris.
It is, and it was like 3 or 4 corners, one after the other, all the time.
Yeah, and
I can't do 90 minutes of that.
No, they can't.
I've got a dicky heart. I know
that. But we saw earlier, Chris. You know the way Leicester pressed the Man City passed it around. At the back, and Man City probably since that opening minute or so have been on that front foot. But it would be interesting to see if Leicester can just push themselves a bit forward, because when they tried to clear it at the edge of the box originally, Chris, as they're about to take the free kick here on the right hand side, it comes back out here. You know, Leicester will be looking for them opportunities where they can push Man City back as there's a clash of heads. Something's gone horribly here. Both gone down. I think it's the same players that were involved in the immediate free kick, the 21 from Manchester City. She is down. Oh no, is it 21?
Yeah, 21 for Manchester City. I'm not sure who's down for Leicester.
No, it's Green is stood, number 14 Green stood over the player, but I can't, the number 10, but I can't see the shirt or short number of the player.
I think we've got to be careful, of course. Don't forget who's playing up front for Man City, a certain Chloe Kelly.
Oh, yeah. So we all know what Chloe Kelly is very capable of.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
So, I mean, to be fair, as long as Leicester, as long as they can keep that counter available to them, Man City are going to get cautious in this game at points, especially if Leicester get a breakaway, because if Man City have already had that warning sign, so they know Leicester are capable. And I think, you know, you try to frustrate a team like Manchester City. I think that's what's worked for other teams. Chris,
Chloe Kelly's just running back into the centre circle.
Looks like they're both going to be okay. But
the Leicester player is up, but the Manchester City one maybe looks to have come off worse.
Yeah, it looks like she has. I didn't see the incident. It seems to happen off
she's
screen.
Up. She's up.
She is back up though. That's
it's
always good to see. But yeah,
that Chloe Kelly and her England goal. It will never go down as one of the greatest goals ever scored at Wembley. But it was a tenacity that she didn't let it. She wasn't going to let it go. She still had a chance. She was in there. She was like that little terrier dog that wouldn't let go of the bottom of your trousers.
Yeah, she was, and it was a good finish, and it should be remembered for a lot more than what it is, probably in a sense. But here come Man City trying to get that ball forward in behind Leicester back line, but the defence just about deal with it. Wanted it out earlier than that, but the ball didn't go out of play. But it is tidy. It is out for a Man City throw just in line with the corner of the box here. And Leicester just need to deal with this and then try and break away from certain chances.
Just need to sort of just take the time. There's no need to rush. It's early in the game.
Yeah. I just think that if they're going to counter, they do need to go intent, and it's just poor passing. But Leicester, my streams froze as they get away with it there on mine.
I mean, there was a bad part. But I tell you what, to say that this is obviously, we play at the King Power, that they play here. Is it the Lee Community Centre or something that they play at? But it's not a bad little stadium, is it? Did they have a World Cup game there? Yes, they did. A Euro Cup game there. It's not a bad little stadium, is it?
No, it's not. I think it's the Academy Arena. As Leicester have a throw in here.
That's it.
But yeah, and it's good to see. Like I said, it's good to see that they've got stands and capacity stadiums there, because they deserve recognition. I'm having a bit of trouble with my stream, Chris. I don't know about you. Mine's just frozen again. It does seem to catch up, but
I'm okay at the moment. There's Leicester come forward, passed out to the far side. No, trying to do a 1-2. Give us some options. I'm surprised that wasn't a free kick to Manchester City. They get the throw in Manchester City, but the Leicester player literally went off. They were both going for the ball. The ball went to the right. The Leicester player went to the left to push the Man City player out the way. Oh, no, don't. That was I'm like, really? You're not going anywhere near this ball. Anyway, are you back with us? Are you back up and running?
I'm just loading up the app again now. I don't know why.
Right. So we're on the far side. It's Manchester City playing neat little 1-2.
So it's called the Academy Stadium. So just so to know.
Right.
But Man City come through the middle there, Chris. There could be one dangerous. Yeah, what a save. That she got something on that, Chris, and you are about a second ahead of me there.
Sorry, mate.
No, it's fine. As a cross comes in, this could be trouble. It's missed by the number 9 for Man City, and Leicester do clear it away and clear it up the pitch, but it's back with Manchester City. But this is where Leicester need to get players out to win the ball like they have here. And I mean, that keeper got something on that, Chris, and I
Well,
will
I'm
learn
going
our
to look at it
goalkeeper's
now. They're
name.
just
I
showing it
think she got
again.
something on that and tipped it onto the bar. If it is, it's a fantastic save.
I'm not. It's hard to see. I can't.
It's hard. Yeah, that
I
angle.
don't want to say she didn't, but I can't say that she did, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is. The first time seeing it live, it looked a bit clear cut that she palmed it on there, but
I've got to say, fair dues. There's a fair crowd there to say that Manchester City are playing at Liverpool today.
yeah, it's
The men's team, yeah.
As Man City have got a free kick here, and Leicester are probably going to have to do this. They're going to give away these what you call tactical fouls because they're trying to get the momentum to go forward. As you can see, Leicester are playing. They seem to be pressing in a line of three, and that's something that the men's side were doing as well. So it seems like this is something that's called down through it because the women seem to harass whoever's on the ball in like a three, like a line. So
yes,
you're probably going to see a few niggly fouls. We've just got to be a bit careful that we don't give them away in dangerous areas. As Leicester nearly nick it in there, Chris. And you can see that Leicester really are trying to spring that trap, and that's what's going to give Leicester opportunities in this game, you feel, because now Man City are on the back foot.
What Leicester are going to be careful of is they can't beat Man City at fancy football.
No.
You're not going to get the ball and run past 3 or 4 players. You've got to basically keep it a la Wimbledon, if you like,
Yeah, as Man City come down this road, and it's well dealt with by Bot. That's what I have learned because I know she's coming as a substitute, and I always remember a number. So I'm learning the names and numbers, folks. I'm getting there.
Well, all the male games that are kicked off are 0-0, except Villa versus Chelsea, and they've gone 1-0 ahead from Mason Mount.
Have they?
You're having a very good weekend, if I may say so far. Again, you bugger on the old prediction. You got 2 spot on.
Oh, I'm just too good at this, Chris. I'll retire.
You are. You've got 7 points to my 1 already.
Yeah. What was the 2 I got spot on? Because I forget them. I actually go back on the stream and forget.
I shall tell you. I can send you the link if you like to the actual Google sheet. You got 2-2 Fulham Bournemouth.
Oh, I'm a legend.
And you got 2-0 Tottenham Everton.
Well, some of us just born gifted, mate.
And you also got the right result for Wolves.
Oh,
which I didn't because I went for bloody 0-0 draw. And if VAR had got the finger out the bloody arse, it would have been 1-1.
Oh, that explains why you're more biased towards that decision then. I get it now.
No, in fairness, all I heard was one of the pundits say there's one referee, there's a couple of linesmen, there's a VAR, there's a 4th official, and assistant VAR, and not one of them could see that was the wrong decision.
Oh, well, I mean, in this day and age, it's
I haven't even seen it. I've got to be honest with you, I haven't even seen it. But...
No. And the reason me and Chris have been talking about that is because Leicester had been holding Man City back, but they managed to get into the box here, Chris. It's laid across, and that's a great interception. It's cleared out for a corner. I mean, that happened quickly, Chris. The reason we've been able to talk about stuff like that is because Leicester were actually really frustrating Man City, weren't they?
Yes.
But they just show their quality there. The way they got forward was quite interesting.
From a neutral perspective, it's quite a good game, but it is all... Apart from the odd break here and there, I wouldn't say Manchester City would sit here feeling worried at all.
Yeah, I mean, the corner count on the screen there saying 5 to Man City, it feels like 10. They had that many back-to-back, but I mean, I'm going to make people just sigh in a minute and hopefully not leave the stream, but I'm going to make a sigh with this one. It is David and Goliath, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Away and then cleared. It was all data. It is, though, isn't it? It is. They're serial winners, Man City, and Leicester's second season in this league. As they could get caught out here as they found some space. But to be fair, Leicester get the bodies back and they force them out wide, and now they're forcing them back just over halfway now, Man City. Leicester shepherding well here as now. Yet Man City, look, they're forced back into their own half from a dangerous position, Chris. And this style of play, I think if they can keep this up for 90 minutes, that'll be the biggest demand and question for them. But they're doing well as they're really scrapping to get it there. The referee lets that little hustle and tussle go, Chris. And I don't know what's going on now because mine's gone again.
I have to be honest with you. I do think it's going to be a case of when rather than if, as Manchester City. Oh, she
Young
just
Nerds a shot, and it's blocked again by
got
Leicester.
behind. Oh, I think that was Chloe Kelly. Didn't really connect with it, but Manchester City, straight back onto the ball, and again
knocking it around nicely. Leicester are obviously getting bodies behind the ball. You know, 10 player system behind the ball is my string freezes again. This is not doing well for the player. I don't know why it's been so awful. But they got it out wide here. But again, she couldn't quite control it, and Leicester get the chance to clear, and they do. They put it out for a throw in on this left hand side, just in between the half, and it's thrown backwards. They're not really doing much with it, though, Man City, are they? They really are relying on Leicester just allowing a bit too much space. They're being patient, Man City. You have to say that about them, and you have to in a game like this when Leicester are a side with the greatest respect to our ladies. We're a side that are expecting to really struggle this season. This is what you do as a side that you're trying to take something out of this game, and they're showing a bit of fight and grit, which is nice. They're not sitting behind for 90 minutes shaking at the kneecaps for it.
No, they're not. And there's another injury again here now with the Leicester player down. You can tell the difference. There's a gulf between the two teams, and I'm sorry, you can see that. And
just as the physio's coming on, looks like they're taking some drinks maybe, and get some players giving some instructions. Because the physio is coming on for that. Sorry, Chris.
No, don't worry, mate. I was just saying. I think I am sat here thinking, how long until? Yeah. You know.
But the thing is,
never say never, obviously. But
no, and that's the most encouraging thing. I mean, I would argue that you can see there just the way they fouled them. That's the first time Man City have had two players go in and throw their shoulders into one player. It is seemingly having an effect. I would say in these last 10 minutes, to be fair, Chris, Man City have had the odd chance to get in behind, which is going to naturally happen when you're trying to frustrate an opponent. But I would say for the majority of them, Man City are playing frustrated, and if they get a bit more fortunate on these half breakaways, can't really say chances, because Leicester haven't had anything yet, but if they get a bit more fortunate in these breakaways and can find themselves a lead against the run of play, you would then turn around and say it warrants a defensive shift to putting in, because they are doing what's required in these games. Yeah. But I do agree. The test of point would be if they score.
Maybe it's hot there, Brad.
Maybe it is, Chris, because they need to go for a break and a shade. Get the sun cream out in that.
They just showed the attempt from Manchester City where it went onto the bar.
Yeah.
I still can't see whether she got a fingertip to it or not, but we'll give her credit and say she did.
Yeah, she deserves it because she made a fantastic save early in the game as well, Chris. I'll give it a save.
Corner for Leicester. 21 minutes into the game, we get our first corner.
I am behind by a few seconds, so I might need to reload my app. So if this goes in...
I'm on 22:03.
I am on 22, so I'm a few seconds behind. So just
3 or 4 seconds behind.
I don't know why the app's misbehaving. It didn't do it last time, but apologies. I'll reload it and do it again.
There we go. Get the cross in. The cross comes in for Bell. Oh, sorry, I don't know where about. Sorry, I took over there because I thought you were reloading your app. But
I am, mate. I am. Go for it. If I'm not talking, go for it.
Great. I mean, a short corner. Second player crosses the ball in, and it was a perfect cross into the box. Picked out the Leicester player just to pass the far post. And
no, I've just seen your screen. Man City down left. Man City down left. It's cut out. But it's in the box and there's a slip there, and she wiggles away past, it's crossed, it's deflected, and it's head, and it's a goal. Yeah. Top right corner. Unfortunately, I saw it on the screen. I hate that app. Bad app, naughty app being ahead. As soon as I got it loaded back up, I wanted to ask you, and I looked towards your direction, not focus on the screen. I saw that. But yes, unfortunately, this will be the testing time now, because the women have defended resolute. They got really unfortunate here, to be perfectly honest with them, because they've got the numbers back, the body's there. But, the little deflections are going Man City's way and not Leicester's. And unfortunately, She made 2 fantastic saves this half, but she could not keep that one out. It was right in the top right-hand corner. And the 21, who's been a bit isolated, had a few heavy tackles put on her, but she didn't show any signs of suffering there. And
But the sign of a good team. I mean, literally 2 minutes prior to that,
yes,
Leicester could have gone ahead.
Yes.
And they're coming down now down the far side.
Here. Ball across the box. There's only one Leicester player in it. Man City missed it, but it's just still got too much on it there, Chris.
A little bit too hard, but come straight back. That's what you want.
Yeah, and they're not showing any signs of their heads dropping immediately, are they, Chris? They're straight on the front foot there, nearly in there. And this is what I meant earlier in the game about the resolve. We can lose this game, and people will go, "Wow, they played Man City, not expecting anything." But if they can, let's get in half time now, 1-0. I think that would be the message now. If we can get an equaliser, fantastic. Don't be afraid to try and go for it. But importantly, keep ourselves in the game, because you're always in with a chance at a scoreline like this if you can keep it there.
Yes.
And that's just what they're going to do. Man City now, they might play with a bit of freedom, because I think they're getting a bit jittery, Chris. I think they're getting a bit frustrated with Leicester defending as they break up the ball here, but then a pass into the middle is cut out by Man City.
Yeah.
They are going to play now with a bit more freedom and a bit more of a spring in their set. Probably their nerves settled a little bit, because credit when
they haven't won this term, so the pressure was on them a little bit.
Yeah, it is, and there's still a long way to go. We've seen Leicester have been able to eke in chances. That corner being the first notable one. So they have shown they can do it, and as long as Leicester commit to that and believe in that, like a fantastic telepathic slide block there by number 23, I think. So Brian, there's a ball out wide to her. It's a flag going to go up. She keeps it in play, but the flag has gone up. She did just go a little bit early.
I think that was
the intent's there, Chris. The intent's there, and I think that's what Lydia wanted from them this season. She wanted to not just go, well, it's Man City. We'll try our best, but once it's gone, we're not bothered because it's Man City. I think she wanted to show the progress that this team can make this season, and like I said, this isn't the worst scoreline to have right now, especially against a Man City side for me. It's not ideal. Obviously, we'd like it still be 0-0, but I've seen enough to say we can create mischief here. Again, we nearly something like that goes for us, Chris. We'll be back on level terms. That's the difference, the main difference between the two sides in terms of the performance on the pitch, in my opinion.
You're never out of it at 1-0. I mean, a lot of people still say 2-0 is the hardest scoreline to defend, but like I say, it was just a shame because, like I say, that was an awful cross there from Man City. But when you look, I say literally the move before that, and we could have been 1-0 up.
Yeah, exactly. And then again, see there, like when she's chasing down the defender, if she doesn't turn that back to a goalkeeper a second earlier, that tackle's going in, and then someone's one-on-one with a goalkeeper. Of course, the one thing that is going to be at the back of everybody's mind is Leicester's, until Blackburn, their inability to take these key chances. And today, that's what they're going to have to do to get a result now. They're going to have to take, they might only get one, as there's a player down Man City off the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know but the referee's allowed played on, and Leicester are playing on with it. People will probably talk about that, but they play it down the right here now. Play stopped. What was the point in that, ref? If you're going to stop it, if she stayed down, she wasn't going to make a miracle.
I think it was an offside anyway, so I think it was a natural break.
Was it? Okay. Well, hopefully she's okay. I don't know if she just went down in a tackle in an early incident, Chris, or if it was.
I didn't see her go. Didn't see her collapsed. Let me get my terminology right. Yeah, she's moving.
Yeah, so hopefully she is okay, because you don't want to see injury in that. But yeah, this is what Lydia will want from Leicester. Obviously, not to be 1-0 down, but against Man City, if you're going to lose, keep on fighting. Keep to what we're trying. Because until that goal, Chris, I would actually say, in terms of created chances, yes, Man City at the bar off a great save and an early chance, but Leicester, they had fortune with them. They had a deflection for the goal. They had a bounce through for it. Leicester just haven't had that luck, and that's been the case, you may argue, for their lack of finishing in the league games, at least. Not so much against Blackburn, which was fantastic and helped confidence, but you would just say that that's maybe, the area of weakness at Leicester, and they're just not getting the rub of the green. I mean, I'm just seeing a highlight of the goal again there, and that's a wicked deflection.
Well, but also the defender, Leicester defender, no attempt to jump.
Yeah, and again, I think when you're playing an opposition against Man City, and you're so cautious of it. I think sometimes, and it's a mistake that everybody makes, especially as a centre back, is you just get caught ball watching, and I think maybe that's something that Lydia will want to word with, because when we've been ball watching, that's when Man City have been able to create them chances, and I think, whilst we've been positive at times, we have been a little bit too defensive when we've had to focus on that side of the game. You'd have to give credit to Man City for that, because they pass it around so nicely. Back underway here now, though, Chris. But minus the goal, I wouldn't be, if I was Lydia, I wouldn't be too displeased. I would make sure that they don't get their heads down, but we still have 15 minutes to go, and Man City, a deep cross in again. Oh, excuse me, my voice went then.
That's okay. I mean, I said it this. I mean, it's almost like like you say, certain games are giveaways and what have you. And you could see that coming. They were going at us, but I say it's all about. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. And like I said, as we say, and I know it's a common saying, but there's ways to lose games. And that's something you can always aim for if, because even if Man City score late on and they win the game 2-0 today, if you keep them going and make them play and they're honest about their win, you can look at a lot of positives. And we've been able to do that recently with Leicester. And this is a test, though, Chris. This is the one where you look at last season, and like you said, you don't want them now to capitulate, and that's what Lydia won't want to see, and it's certainly not what we've seen thus far. We haven't seen a sign of that yet.
Yeah. Just a sidetrack here, very briefly. Spygate. Oh, let's just see what's going to happen.
No, go on. It's dealt with.
Spygate has raised its head again. This time with Sean Dyche, allegedly been sending his assistant Ian, when he was a manager's assistant, Ian Wone, to watch the likes of Forest and Leicester in case their managerial situations change.
Well, I don't know why, because Forest have just given him a 5-year contract.
Well, they said that will change now, but I mean, I don't, in fairness, well done on the person, when I've been for interviews in the past and they said, what do you know about the company? I said, well, I rang you up the other day and I wasn't impressed with you. So, it does make you show an interest. Shows you have an interest. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And that's what they're good for. But, Man City. Oh, it's Leicester cut out with the ball here, Chris. This is what Man City have been wary of all game from Leicester, as they try to get through the box, but she just didn't make a run right.
Yeah, he got a bit early there. But again, Manchester City numbers in defence. Good evening, Anthony. How are you?
Which you're expecting. You can see there they've got the 2 centre-backs and then a front line of 3 directly in front of that. But Leicester are showing, we said about the Achilles heel from crosses into the box this season. But we're showing that, if you're going to dawdle around on it and not keep your tempo up 100%, as they come down the right here, and Bot's been caught out of position, she's trying to cover back, and the right hits it across the box, and again, Leicester use their numbers to the advantage there, don't they, Chris? And that's got to be a free kick there. Goes straight over the top of her. Absolutely no need for that.
That was a wrestling slam from behind.
That should be the first card of the game. Yeah, the referee's corner over. That has to be the first card of the game. It's just reckless. He's only given her a talking to, Chris. 33 minutes into the game. That isn't, I'll let it slide. His just career's over. I think.
I think she went up with it was an arm slam in her back. Anthony's saying there, hope you enjoyed your trip, Brad.
I'm back in Manchester, so it's one of them.
It's all great going. It's great going away, but it's always the coming back, isn't it? You know. But,
yeah. Normally,
I'm
I don't like
on my way to
coming back
London
from
in a month or so's time, 2 months' time.
Oh, check you out, Mr. Traveller.
I know. I will never complain about the cost of match tickets again. I've just bought 2 tickets to see Aber Voyage, and they're pretty expensive.
Oh, see, Leicester there trying to pick up a loose ball. They've broken up in the midfield, Chris, and now they got a chance to go forward. I'm going to call her O'Brien because I think that's her short number. Someone's going to tell me it's someone like Howard, and I'm probably thinking it's one of them two. So sorry to the number 23 if someone's screaming at me the wrong name. I'm pretty sure it's one of them too. But Leicester, they're having these half chances to break away, and it's very difficult with the quality of Man City have to turn these into chances. But you do also get the feeling that, you know, where they've won the ball, Leicester, in certain areas, that if they press here and something like that and they win it, they're going to have a really good opportunity to get back on level terms, Chris, aren't they? Because they've been winning it high up a lot, haven't they, Leicester?
They have. They are defending in numbers, Manchester City, and we haven't been getting the numbers forward. I've noticed a couple of times Leicester strikers, not say giving up easily, but you may be thinking, well, maybe if you chase that one, but they know what their limits are, I guess. But we could easily sneak one. But we're getting into that time now when whether we sneak one or not, is we don't concede a second.
Yeah, that's pivotal as we come into the last 10 minutes of the half. Man City have it out here on the wide left, driving into the box. He tricks and turns to lose the defender. Shot blocked and cleared away by Leicester. But Man City have it now on the edge of the box. Another cross into the box. Header comes in from Leicester, but then the header comes down, and that's brave goalkeeping there. She made the angle hard. I can't pronounce the goalkeeper's name. That's why I've been avoiding it. But she's having a really good game, isn't she, Chris?
Yes, she's having a bad game. Anthony says Chris is watching Arsenal when he's at London, mate. That it was what I'd probably pay for 2 tickets to go and watch ABBA would be sort of 3/4 of a ticket to go and watch Arsenal, and I certainly couldn't afford the beer prices.
Anthony, he said he's going to a sheer show, not a shit show.
Hey! Like that one. Well done, Brad. Well done, sir.
So anyway, I could come up with anything to be honest with you.
No, I'll take that. So Man City back on the ball.
Yes, got it here on the right. But again, nothing seemingly changed except the scoreline, has it, Chris? It's still been the same game. Leicester are backing everybody behind the ball. They're not deep and allowing Man City to run at them much. They are, they're spreading their defence out, and they have still caused Man City some grief, haven't they? And that's nice to see. And it kind of goes in tandem with the games before, because we didn't allow, Tottenham to get away from us. We didn't allow, until the last minute. We were always in a fight in a game, and I think that's something that's encouraging.
We haven't had a 4 or 5-0 drubbing. We had a 9-0 last season, I think, didn't we?
So I think it was against Chelsea. I think it might have been double figures.
We haven't had one of those yet this season. Yes,
we did a Southampton, though. We went down to 10 men about 4 minutes in. I said, Leicester here, panicking with it at the back. Just get away with it there. Just pass out. Bot's asking for it out wide. She doesn't get it yet, but she might get it here. But no, it's played further forward. Lovely little reverse turn there by the number 27. And she wiggles away through. She gets it out wide. Bot will get here first. Can she get a good cross in? She knows it's delivered in. It's cleared by Man City. But it drops to the edge of the box. The shot comes in. It's blocked. And now it's cleared to the edge of the box. It's out there. Oh, Green couldn't get the control. And
I think you're ahead of me now.
Yeah. I keep reloading my app, mate. It jumps ahead of you. Man City get away with getting a free kick edge there. But again, Leicester showing that chance. And the press worked. Yeah. They got in there. They were quick down the line. It's a great cross by Bot. It was flicked out. And then I can't see the shirt number. It was the number 10 for Leicester. Had the volley. And Man City there backpedaling, Chris, and requiring numbers in the box.
They went for the up and under to get it out. And they got the free kick, which was a soft free kick in the end, but just to take the pressure off. But no, that was good from Leicester. showing intent,
Encouraging.
and they've got to do that.
Yeah, I mean they are. I mean, you would say naturally got to do it because they're also a goal down, but it shows the great intent that they're not willing to settle. As it was number 27 O'Brien was booked for that challenge, Chris. It came up there. I didn't see that card get given.
No, what, the Leicester player?
Yes, the number 27 O'Brien for Leicester.
Jesus.
She was booked for that.
That was the softest.
Which is a surprise when one of them absolutely dropped the Rock's famous elbow drop on the back of the Leicester players. Man City have it in the box. Here it's hit the bar, Chris, and Leicester get away with another one. It's at the bar. Again, I can't tell. I don't think the Leicester goalkeeper got anything on it. As in the midst of all that chaos, the whistle's gone. There is a Leicester player down, just as my stream freezes, so I don't know what's exactly going on.
Oof.
I think they're Leicester get away with it. Chris, to be honest with you, I don't think the goalkeeper gets anywhere near that there. But this again, you talked about it, the difference in quality. Man City, unlike Leicester, who have struggled in the early parts of the season, Chris, Man City are known to take their chances, and we can't be giving them too many more chances like that.
No, we can't, and that's the thing. If we probably would have got away with it against Birmingham last season, but you can't let. I mean, she went to try and make the save, but there's a huge gap there that she could have sneaked the ball into. On that, and that's what you've got to be careful of against these teams.
Yeah.
Anthony quickly says, Brad, Arsenal, your number one team in your top 10 stream. I think it is if he's doing top 10 whinging fan clubs.
They already came out with deluded fans, didn't they, Chris? I think you was on that show with me.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Yes. Was that my show? I can't remember now.
I can't remember. I know one of us has got it.
One of us did it. Oh, no, I can't remember. Deluded
it was either on yours or it was my early days.
Yes.
Show,
it was Arsenal versus Manchester United, I think, wasn't it? And Spurs, I think, I'd got to mention as well. But that's the only thing Arsenal fans would come top on. But you're doing well. You're doing well, Anthony. You're top of the league. That's all you can ask for.
As Leicester breakaway here, the midfield is great. It's like, that's a late challenge, and that's got to be a booking, Chris. And I think it is. I think the Man City player is going to
finally
late and reckless, and it is a yellow card.
Finally, referee.
Yeah, and I believe, Chris, it's actually the same player who got away with catapulting straight into the defender earlier. It's late, Chris. There's no need for that. She's running into not much space. Leicester was still trying to get forward there, and it's just. But can Leicester capitalise? They're going to get chances are going to be a premium here. This needs to be a good ball into the box, Chris, and it'd be nice if Leicester can at least hold these last. Well, coming up to 3.5 minutes, Chris, depending on stoppage time. There might be a bit for 3 of them injuries.
Yes.
Leicester need to get through this and either keep it as it is or take this chance if it comes to them.
Yes, they do. Important more than anything, like I said before, and like you just mentioned, keep it at 1-0, whatever happens.
And it was I'm going to call her Alice because of the last name, Alice Greenwood, who's the captain for Man City. She was the one that received the card.
Free kick wasted.
Yeah, straight down to the keeper's. Able to take that easy and launch Man City on the front foot here. Something they're trying. Their strong side here is the right side, but Leicester do get hurry back and they do force Man City to play it back.
They've got 2 players, Manchester City, down this right-hand side.
Yeah.
One of them is Chloe Kelly, and I don't know who the other one is, and they're both blonde-haired with the hair.
I believe Chloe Kelly's the number 9. I probably could be wrong. Maybe I'm insinuating name with famous infamous. And
I'm not being sexist here because we'd have the same trouble if Soyuncu and Vass played together.
Especially when I'm watching it on a phone screen. I've always been terrible with sometimes I watch Leicester games and get and mix the players up as well. And
I'm bad at it. Yeah, I have to give credit to these. Only when you start doing things like this, you've got to give credit to the commentators for knowing the players and the numbers and what have you.
Yeah. I mean, you see there though, Chris. Just look back at the game. Leicester have done tremendously well. Yes, Man City have had the clearer chances, and that was more than expected. And they probably do overall deserve their lead. Leicester have had a bit of luck to even out the luck for the goal since then. as it's back with a goalkeeper. But you would say that again, they've gone back to restricting Man City. They keep having to go back with the ball. They keep having to recycle and start again because, it's not at no point during this half has it felt like even before or after the goal, Chris, that they felt like the game was lost, like before.
They have not given up. They've still battled for it, and we've had a bit of luck on our side. It could be 3-0. The post has saved, or the bar has saved us a couple of times, I should say.
Yeah.
We've said that a few times in our lives, haven't we? But you take what you're given. You deal with the hand that you're dealt.
You do.
And you could, this game,
and you could argue that. As Man City have a chance here on the left-hand side, shot comes in and it's blocked again. Brilliant defending by Leicester. Numbers and bodies.
I think I've gone back ahead of you again here.
Well, where are you now? Because I'm
44-37.
I'm about 3 seconds to be honest. I don't know why it's been so poor with me today.
I noticed that. I mean, Manchester City do seem to be taking a lot of outside the box shots efforts. So maybe if we're forcing Man United to do that, the long ball nobody's ever going to get to. If we're forcing Manchester City,
5 minutes injury time there. It says Chris. Sorry, it's quite late now. There's 5 minutes for them injuries.
5, right? Well,
I just saw it.
Not surprised. I mean, they had two head clashes there. I'm not surprised. 5 minutes. But
sorry, what was it you were saying, mate? Sorry.
I was saying if we are restricting Manchester City to taking pot shots from outside the box.
Yeah, because people might argue, oh well, Man City, they're having chances. You're not really doing anything. But when you restrict a side to having these chances from the edge of the box, you're definitely frustrating them, and that's what they need to do. I mean, 5 minutes will feel about like 10 minutes for Leicester this half because I want to get in now, only a goal behind, and I think she'll be disappointed that they conceded the goal. Probably disappointed that certain chances from Man City weren't dealt with better. But given the state of the game, and again, Leicester, I've had them half chances there. I've had them moments that on maybe a different day, bounces their way. But it's not the worst half to come into, is it, Chris?
No.
Not that I've been able to watch the last 5 minutes, it feels like. It's been dreadful, Chris. And the first time we had it and we used it, it didn't freeze once. And today it's just been dreadful.
It's, the 30 minutes of the first half that you've actually seen, we've not actually. No, 1-0 against a team that, let's be honest, I didn't think we would get anything from this game. I think going in at 1-0, when you come to think what it could have been, because I say the two shots that hit the bar. I think as long as we don't do anything in the next, 4 minutes or so. We can look at, we're battling for every ball. We're not being lightweight.
No, we're not. And again, you said we had that corner, and that wasn't 0-0. Had we scored that, you never know what they're capable of doing.
Exactly.
If that goes in, that could have turned the game on their head because Man City were starting to run out of ideas, weren't they? They were getting a bit annoyed and a bit frustrated with Leicester. There were some heavy challenges going in, and that's continued, to be fair, in the game. Yeah. But, and I think we're just starting to get rest them a little bit as Leicester break away the ball here. It's passed out to the left. A lot of work to do. She does get past the Man City player, but she gets a body in front. And to be fair, that's very good defending. But she's still harrying and harassing the play. Man City try and play it out. And the Leicester winners, and we're not giving up on it. But then she goes into the back of it and maybe a little bit of frustration. I don't know, maybe to stop them playing the ball long and letting the ladies get back. Maybe it's one of them tactical fouls you could argue.
I think the Manchester City player knew what she was doing.
Yeah, she did as well. She knew how to play her part in that instant there. But positive there, right there, isn't it, Chris? We've seen a lot of that this game. And in that first 10 minutes, we maybe thought we wouldn't see less on the back front because Man City had that wave of chances. But it's good to see that they managed to ride through that and they've, again, not let the goal affect them.
I mean, if this was the men and it was 1-0 at half time, we'd be jumping up and down for joy.
Yeah, we'd be like, we're only losing 1-0. How shit would you be?
How crap are you?
Yeah.
Manchester City come away, good defending.
Yeah, I'm even trying to watch it in the upright mode, mate, where it's not a full screen and it keeps really freezing on me. So I'm just keep backing it out.
I don't know
So I
whether
hope
it's your internet or not, because in fairness, mine has been okay. Touch wood.
Yeah, but the StreamYard with my laptop, which is why I'm on it, is running fine. I don't know. I'll see what I can sort out. Maybe it's just my phone app. Maybe it's just my phone. My phone's old as well.
You're not missing much at the moment.
No, but again, we've had spells of that, haven't we, Chris?
Yeah.
Yes. As they press the goalkeeper here and harry them in the box. Leicester have the numbers up here if they can nick the ball. It's forced out wide. Man City have a bit more breathing space to clear the ball as they try and come away here. But we have had quiet periods in the game, and that's thanks to Leicester, who press here again. That's all you're asking there, Chris. I mean, I know two players there were coming back from offside position, couldn't get involved. But just a little bit of luck. If that ball bounces a bit more kindly or goes in there, there's a ball across the box, comes in, it's cleared by Leicester, and that is got to be it, ref. Not long left now. And Man City just passing it around. I mean, they don't really have to go anywhere, but you've got to give credit to Leicester. They've kept it at 1-0, it seems, to half-time, and still frustrated, Man City, haven't they, Chris?
We are. Manchester City would probably be the more disappointed of the two teams.
Yeah, as the half-time whistle goes there.
Manchester City, I think looking at that first half, it was what you would expect. You know, I think Manchester City are in a false position at the moment. You know, played 3, lost 3. I was surprised at where they were, but that was, to me, I'm not surprised. Let me just say that. However, I think we've done well to keep it to 1-0. Yes, we've had a bit of luck on our side. They've hit the crossbar twice, but you want that in football, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And again, with the greatest respect to the Leicester women, this is only their second season. And this is a far cry from their performances they put in against the likes of Man City last season. I mean, we noted they got beat 9-0 against Chelsea. All right, they went down to 10 men in that early, but you feel you're able to stop that. And I think Man City beat them 6-0. I know they played.
They're just showing it again. Sorry, they're just showing it again. I can't see if she got her fingertips to that one. I don't think she did. I don't.
You know what? Jot Wallace, wasn't it, Chris, that wanted points to be given at half time?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do something similar, but not so dramatic. I'm going to give a half-time man of the match to Levale. I'm just going to attempt her name there because she had a fantastic half. And I tell you what, if that's on target, because technically hitting the bar is off target, I think even if that was on target, she would have got a hand to that because there's no that's gone. Her hand was literally at the height it looked to be covering the bar and the net. So if it wasn't on target, it's gone over the bar. She still gets tops marks for me for being there in the right area. Yeah,
indeed. It is half time. It is Manchester City 1, Leicester City 0 women, but it's all to play for in the second half. You know, I don't think, this game is not over by a long chalk. Talking of long chalks, I'm going to go and water the garden. So drink. So stay tuned and we'll be back straight after this.
Hello, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester LTIDtv
for all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
LTID Watchalong show. Join in the chat and don't forget to subscribe.
I said this the other week. I mean, if the FA want to take the women's game seriously, and I know they're trying to fill the gaps because it's on the FA player, so they've not got adverts, etc., etc. Maybe they should get adverts. But they're asking and they're interviewing adult women with the question, would you sooner look like a potato or feel like a potato? I mean, I am sorry. For God's sake, treat them as adults. Because would you go to Ronaldo and go, Ronaldo, come over a minute, got a question for you. Do you want to look like a potato or feel like a potato? I mean, fuck off. I mean, Jesus Christ. These are fully grown professional women footballers. Honestly, yeah, it's embarrassing. It is totally and utterly embarrassing from the FA. This, I've got to be honest with you. But anyway, hey, don't forget this tonight.
Broadcasting live from Trump Towers. Wait a minute. Now, hear this.
I'm Donald Trump, and this is not fake news. It is Leicester Till I Die Radio, the ultimate blend of sport and music.
No.
Would you sooner rather fight a duck-sized rhino or a rhino-sized duck?
A rhino-sized duck. I mean, what?
As you come back, these are the questions. As they maybe the FA need to take adverts on the FA player for the half time, but these are the questions that they are asking fully grown professional women footballers. The question that they just asked before that was, would you sooner look like a potato or feel like a potato? And they want this game to be taken seriously.
Yeah,
I think I've said this before, but it is pathetic. It's what you kind of say to under sevens players.
The problem is, though, mate, and this isn't going to make you feel any better, but they do it with the men's team. They ask them daft questions on there, don't they? And they do it.
Could you imagine them going through, like, say, okay, Ronaldo, Salah, Ronaldo, tell me, would you sooner look like a potato or feel like a potato?
They'll probably tell you, no, I want to smash the Everton fan's phone.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? It is pathetic. It is
Well,
pathetic.
it is. But unfortunately, mate, we have trends in football, and this just happens to be seeming a trend because these players do it. I mean, we've had a few videos go up, haven't we, where it's like they do the quiz between the players.
Yeah, I don't think it ever got to, would you want to look like a potato or feel like
No,
a
they
potato?
haven't, but some people might think, oh, well, they're doing something, so they'll actually be training. So you're never going to please everybody with any content you do. This is one of the things where, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, right now, this sort of daft humour is in there. So they're getting asked daft questions, and that's what.
I haven't got my Kevin jingle.
Well, that might be for the best. We don't know. We'll never know, Chris. It's one of them unanswered questions in the world that we left with. Should he have had his Kevin jingle?
Thank you to don't ask. Thank you to the one person that stuck with us. Hope you are enjoying the stream. Tonight, if you're not doing anything, 9 o'clock tonight on the radio channel, which you can find us. Go onto the website, all the w's.leicestertillidie.com/radio, or just go to leicestertillidie.com, click on the link at the top on the index that says radio, and there'll be a link there direct into the radio stream, or go on to Mixcloud, all one word, mixcloud.com/leicestertillidie radio. The best way to end the weekend, 9 o'clock, I could say Sunday night, and tonight we've got a bit of fun. We've got Kate up against Dan, and we will be doing the Battle of the Sexes, the intro quiz. So it's semi-final, Battle of the Sexes, man versus woman. The winner plays off against non-binary in the final. So that could be interesting.
I can't wait for Dan to get S Cup 7 one wrongs and stuff like that.
To be honest with you, right? He came on the show, on the radio show he did with us on Friday at 6:00, and as in true radio style, there was a couple of records played before sort of, any, chatting or anything. And the second track I played was "Don't Stop Moving" by S Club 7. I just got a message on the private chat. It just went, "Bastard." Oh dear. I don't think I've got an S Club 7 song lined up tonight, but I may have a few ABBAs because, like I say, I'm looking forward. I never got to see ABBA live. I loved ABBA when I was growing up before, everybody else decided they were cool. But when everybody thought they were uncool, I absolutely loved them. So I've got a trip to go and see my daughter and a boyfriend in London, and a couple of tickets to go and see ABBA Voyage, which should be good. A couple of £100 spent, but I was thinking if I went to see because the boyfriend's Arsenal, if I went to see Leicester Arsenal, I'd probably be paying that much.
That's very true. It's very true. The players are coming back out here, Chris. Well, Man City are. Leicester players aren't out yet. In fact, there's still people having a kick around on the pitch.
There are.
It's a bit weird. Bit weird, isn't it? They're not even attempting to go in yet.
No, mind you, the Leicester ones haven't come out. It's only Man City that have come out, and it's Man City players that are.
Yeah, the goalkeeper's just last out there. She's still it's just a bit strange, isn't it? Seems to be doing that a lot this season, don't they?
Yes.
Especially the home team seems to be trying to get out early, like to send a message and then unless they still aren't out yet, I don't think it re-kicks off for another couple of minutes. I think Man City are very, very eager to be out.
Yeah, they come Leicester now.
No, mine's still on my screen. So
no, she's going back in now. Just came out at the bottom, stood in the technical area, and it's gone back in again. She come back in and went, you probably came back in and went, oh, they've got our pitch.
Yeah.
We've booked this pitch. What are you doing on here?
They're in no rush to get off these subs or.
No, they're not at all. But then Leicester don't seem to be coming out, do they? So in fairness.
No, but I mean.
Here we come again. Now we're coming out.
Yeah. It's just very true. Why? You can think now if the Leicester players are definitely coming out.
Yeah, no, they are moving off now. They are moving off.
It was very strange, wasn't it, Chris? Normally, if you're going to come out early, you come out maybe a minute before, don't you? You don't come out. You get out probably 30 seconds to a minute before the players. But Man City players were out probably 2 or 3 minutes there, Chris, before.
Yeah, well,
Leicester.
It's gamesmanship, isn't it? It's gamesmanship.
Well, it is. It's all that. Probably.
Yes. Gamesmanship.
Too warm. I shouldn't be out.
For anything, I was going to say 228 quid for 2 tickets to see Voyage, 21 quid for the coach trip to get to London. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Oh, now we're going to have the huddle.
Yeah, which is great because I get a chance to reload my stream. Looks like I'm going to have the same problems as first half. Yippee.
And then you get this huddle at every half and then at the end of the game as well?
Again, I don't know. Some teams do it, some teams don't. It's a weird one, isn't it? I think maybe now it's a case of, you know what, they try to make us wait. We're going to make you wait now.
Most of the women do seem to huddle, though, in fairness.
Yeah, but the Manchester women did it when they went out, and I think Leicester are kind of like, you're not going to rush us. You came out before kick-off time. That's your prerogative. We're going to take our time and do what's needed. Leicester.
What do you see this? How do you see this half going? Can Leicester? Is there anything Leicester can do to get back into the game? Not that they're out of it, but you know what I mean. They're 1-0 down as they're about to kick off.
Yeah, I think all they can really do is it's easy to say, but they've just got to keep going. They've got to be a little bit more careful and responsible on the ball in terms of when they've got it in their own defensive section. But in that midfield and trying to spring the trap on Man City, they've been doing so to some reasonable success, I would say. You know, they haven't had too many clear cut.
No,
Excuse me.
And a wasted kick-off there, because let's be honest with you, if you're going to try anything, you don't really want to telegraph it to the opposition team.
Well, that's a horrific back pass that's just cleared out.
God. Having 3 players on the left side of the circle as you kick off, you're thinking, wonder where this ball's going to go.
Well, yeah, there is.
And it went straight upfield on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
and we got in the way of the Dutchie that was being passed, but never mind.
Yeah. They have won the ball from a Man City throw, but it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, who was my half-time man of the match. She tries to play that out left. Surprise there. But Leicester have got bodies forward here. Man City do have bodies back. There were miscommunication though in the pass, and there just needs to be a bit more.
You missed my best joke of the day there.
Did I? Sorry, I'm just trying
That's all right. I said they went out to the left-hand side where they got mixed up with the Dutchie.
Oh, yeah. No, but that's in the show, isn't it?
One with a bit of past the Dutchie.
That's very true. As Man City are trying to come down this left, they've been made to work for it down the left, as Leicester are hustling, forced back into their own half. Manchester City, they're going into the centre circle now in the middle, try and play a ball through, and Leicester have a chance to clear, but they get caught out in possession, but managed to get it clear to centre backs, who thinks about sending it long and then turns on back inside and plays it out to the goalkeeper. And Leicester needs to just be careful here. Man City aren't causing any pressure or problems, but if they do decide to press here, Leicester are going to be short on numbers as it's played out wide. She drives inside and tries to get into the middle, but the Manchester City players cutting it out, and then a slide tackle comes in, and Man City have a throw in just inside their own half, Chris.
Indeed.
Settling some nerves, trying to get through these first 10 minutes, do you think, or have Man City come out with a bit more tempo about them than they had in the first half?
I mean, I was thinking about this at half time. Do we, for me, I'm just thinking, were Manchester City in top gear in that first half? Possibly not, Yeah. I mean, when you look at the figures below there, you can see how much blue compared to how much yellow in that top line going across to the score. So, they may just turn it up a gear. And if
they may do, and I'm sure Leicester are expecting that. I'm sure Lydia would have prepared them as best she could for that and said something at half time that, remember, these haven't won this season. They're going to be wanting to use this as a landmark. Let's make it as difficult as we can for them. And you're probably going to expect waves of pressure. But again, minus that goal, Leicester have dealt with it here. But as they were deadly in the first half, they're going down the byline again. That's a great ball one. It's cut back across the box, the edge of the box. It's not fully clear. The shot comes in. It's a goal kick. It is wide, but Man City already with that early warning sign. And
just to let you know that the graphic hasn't changed. So Leicester are actually kicking from left to right in the match. So if you're watching it on the FA Player, and you can watch it free of charge on the FA Player, and Leicester playing left to right, but on the graphic in the middle, it's still, like I say, it doesn't change at half time, and so they're still playing the other way around. So just
have a chance to put the ball in. They've got to throw in here, and what was the point in that? They tried to rush it and then change their mind, but they've taken the throw in, throwing it back a little bit. Leicester trying to push them out here as the cross comes across, but it's half dealt with by Leicester, not fully cleared away, and then she gets ball under control and sends it down the line. I'm guessing it's gone out for a throw, because guess what's frozen?
No, it's still Manchester City on the ball. They've got it in the centre circle now. It was on the far side. They are just passing it about to each other. Let me know when you're back.
And again, sent back into their own half, aren't they, Chris, now with the back pair and trying to spread it down the other wing when they've had a bit of joy already. But Leicester should shield that out, and it is. And it's
that's a long ball. That was very un-Manchester. I thought, well, fair play to them. What they're doing is they've gone back to the sort of centre of the pitch, passing it around, just looking for that opening, trying to sort of take advantage of it. Wasn't coming, and they just went for the long ball then that basically went straight out for a goal kick.
Yeah, and Leicester probably expected this and need to see this 10 minutes out because Man City are going to want to try and dash as much Leicester hope as quick as possible that they can get something from this game. Because the second goal against the likes of Man City, I know they've lost their opening 3 games, but you would feel that would be more of an uphill battle for Leicester than against others.
Having watched Leicester as we have, which is, I think, is it 3 games we've actually watched this season? I think, with respect to them, I would sit here, being totally honest, taking my blue tinted spectacles off. I've been thinking, can we get back from 1-0? But I don't think we get back from 2-0 at all.
No, and that's the worry in the test. You just hope it doesn't get to that. I might not even get to that in terms of minutes. That's been dreadful for me today.
Indeed.
I can only apologise. It's just been dreadful. But not a lot going on, and Leicester will be hoping that kind of continues, because whilst Man City will obviously be happy to take the 1-0, it'll be 3 points, but you saw it early in the game when it was 0-0, Chris. They can frustrate them, and they are susceptible to make mistakes. They're obviously still a little bit cautious and suffering with their bad start. So Leicester, it's a hang in there. Maybe this opening next couple of 5-6 minutes is a great defensive block. Very exuberant clearance there. Chris puts it out for a throw-in. But yeah, Leicester can get through this. You'd like to feel that Man City would start to feel a bit uncomfortable on a 1-0 win, knowing that Leicester do possess a threat going forward.
You never, at 1-0, you should never feel safe. And, as I said earlier in the first half, there's like 2-0 harder to defend. I've never got that. But, at 1-0, you've got to always think, wow, if they get, we've lost 2 points if they get a goal. So Manchester City have got to try and go for the second. And the longer the game goes on, hopefully they might leave some gaps at the back.
Yeah, and you did feel like if Leicester do anything like it in the first half, they are going to get that opportunity or two to do that. They've just got to keep themselves in it here, as it's on the right-hand side. A couple of step overs, gets the crossing eventually. It's in between the penalty spot, and it's not fully cleared, and it's deflected clear, and it will be I'm guessing goal kick, because the streams get ridiculous. I won't be able to watch it.
The Manchester City women are walking away. It is a goal kick. She's just taking it short, doing a bit of an old Casper.
Yeah, an old Danny Ward. And this is dangerous, because their goal scorer, I believe, is number 21.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Straight around, and that's awful.
Oh, what?
That's a giveaway and a half, and that's a needless throw in to concede in such a dangerous position. And they just need to stay, unlike my stream, they need to stay switched on here, Leicester, because if
they need to learn to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Again, that's the trouble, you see. As I've always said, pissing about at the back, playing out from the back, we've lost the ball in our half in a really, really dangerous position. That happened in the other half. You're a hell of a lot, less likely to concede.
Yeah, and Leicester will get punished for them sort of mistakes, you feel, more often than not. But they're trying to come away with it here, and they just really need to get their focus up and just, just get a foothold in the game, Chris, because that's what it took, didn't it? It took a mistake from Man City. It took some hustle and bustle from Leicester, and they created a half chance, if you will, and that kind of gave them some breathing space, and they were able to get their foot on the ball. They just need that to start for this half, because it's not really happening at the moment. It's all Man City as they're driving forward here, and it's cut out. But again, a bit static in noticing where the ball got. And Man City getting a brilliant cross into the box, and again, it's cleared and dealt with by Leicester. And this time, it's just hoofed out. Got nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned boot the fucker up the pitch.
Nothing beats it, is there?
No, nothing. It's like 4-4-2, mate. Nothing can beat it sometimes. You just want to... Sometimes you need to see it, because, Man City got the ball. They have to build again, and it gives Leicester a chance to get in a shape and be a little bit more comfortable. Say that Man City are driving down the right, and they've won a free kick here. And this is, again, it's pretty much from where that throw was gifted to them. But this time it's a set piece, Chris, and Man City looking to swing the axe down on the Foxes here, aren't they?
They are. I think they know that they're going to go and try and get the second, which it should kill the game off from their perspective.
Yeah, and in a way, if it happens a bit later on in the game, it's even more assured for Man City. I think the 2-0 scoreline, well, unless you're Leicester, you know, the longer the game goes on, the more irrelevant and the more calmer you are to defend the 2-0 lead.
Unfortunately, I can see a second one coming.
Yes, and unfortunately, the second goal would be for Man City and not in as the cross goes all the way out of play. And in the end, they poor set
Not the
piece
best free
taken.
kick, was it?
No, it wasn't. And the referee signalled something now. I haven't got a clue. It's a substitution. Yeah, something clearly not happy. And Lydia's making some changes. Obviously said at half time, look, if I don't see improvement, I'm going to make some changes. And that's seemingly what she's doing.
Perfield off for
Perfield
Pike.
off and Pike on. Number 8 Pike coming on for Perfield. And you just wonder there if that's a change in shape, Chris, or is that just a like-for-like personnel? Because there's someone else has come on for Leicester. I believe they made a double change. I could be wrong.
Jones is off and Goodwin is on.
Goodwin is on.
Yeah.
So,
no, I think you got to. I don't know them well enough. I think a formation change is needed because just changing the personnel isn't going to alter this game in any form or another because you are playing such a top side.
I feel like they're getting caught out a bit in the middle. They've not got enough bodies to kind of counteract Man City, so they maybe put another central midfielder on. I think so, and maybe they're just trying to be a bit more expressive. They seem already there to have an extra body in the midfield, so it looks like it's a shape change, Chris. Because, like you said, if it was just like for like and they did a Brendan, it'd feel a bit pointless, wouldn't it?
Yes, I get that if a player is injured, and if you're on top and the player's looking a little bit tired, yeah, I get that. But to change a game, you need to change. You not just change of a player, you need to change a formation. Oh, well done, Manchester City.
Yeah,
she had it. She lost it. She won it back again.
Yeah, and the left-hand side, the cross comes in, and it's down with the goal scorer, the number 21, who just falls over, kicks air, and Leicester have a chance to break away.
Whoa. Between the Manchester City players' legs, and then she threw her to the ground.
And then in frustration, and that's brilliantly done by Leicester. They won a free kick. And it gives them a chance to take the sting out of the game a little bit, don't they? Because they've been a little bit, like Brendan thinks the weather, they've been a bit hot on the cosh a bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
Leicester. So, chance here just to.
Somebody said that right at the start of this morning's programmes. Terry put a message. You were still in bed, but Terry put a message saying, "Can't be there today, Chris. The weather's too hot for me." And I'm like, "Are you in South Africa? What?" And I just didn't get it until I played the.
The goalkeeper's in trouble there. Oh, she's got away with that. And again, Leicester's showing that if you're going to give them a chance, they're not going to respect you enough to not take it, Leicester.
No.
And they win a throw in here, I believe. And I have to stop looking at your screen because something's obviously gone on. I need to stop. You need to make that so we can't see it, Chris, because it winds me up. I keep looking at it. It's in the future. I don't like it. As a player is down injured there. It's because I keep going to talk to you to read the engagement, and that's
to me to you.
Do need to stop seeing that screen. Because trying to commentate on the goal that you know is coming, but you got to pretend like it's not, was not fun. That's not a second goal, by the way. I mean, I happened to look across when it popped up on the stats that you guys can see on the screen. There's another delay in injury, Chris. We had 5 minutes at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Not to get too ahead of ourselves if it is only 1-0 to Leicester, but you would say that any extra time would possibly benefit Leicester.
Yeah, it breaks the game up. And as a team that's losing, that only benefits you. If you're winning, I don't think you get any benefit from injuries at all. That said, if you are, well, I say losing, let me put it this way. So if a team's on top, you get nothing by doing injuries. But we've had a few injuries, but I haven't seen anything nasty, and I haven't seen any women doing 20 turnovers and a forward roll and a backflip when going down at all. So, fair play. You do. I always say, I think if the women go down, somebody 8 times out of 10, that they got hurt.
Yeah, that's true. You at least know it's. Sorry, I'm just straightening my foot out. Sorry, just to have this throw in here, and I'm stop looking up at the screen. It's Man City at the ball from here. We are just past the hour mark now. And you say so. Well, this is in terms of staying in the game. This is the initial process when you restart the second half. Chris, Leicester have had a little bit of a few nervy moments, but relatively well handled thus far.
It is. I feel like they are.
Right hand side. Sorry, Chris. So cross it in shot, wild shot. It's over. Yeah. It's goal to Leicester.
I feel like it's a case of more that we are. We've gone out there maybe to keep it at 1-0, but yeah, you say then that move a few seconds ago. Give us the chance, and whilst it's 1-0, you can't relax. Just to keep you updated, we are currently looking in the men's games. Villa 0, Chelsea 2. What a shame. Leeds 0, Arsenal 1. Arsenal is going strength to strength. The two Uniteds, Man United, Newcastle's 0-0. And it's Southampton 1, West Ham 1. Southampton were ahead at one point. Mason Mount's got his second for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think I'm doing all right in the predictions on them ones as well. I'm not sure about the Southampton West Ham, but I think the other two are going so far so good.
I think you are having a good a good weekend, you sod.
Yeah. I aim to please, mate. I aim to please.
Just to say, by the way, because there are games on next weekend, which is Wolves, obviously for us. I'm not sure when I'm going to get a prediction show in. So it might be a prediction show done by send you answers in on a postcard. You've got 3-0 to Chelsea. I've got 4. You've got 5-0 to Arsenal. I've gone 4. Oh, I've got a draw down here for Man United, Newcastle. We've both got West Ham winning, and then of course we've got Liverpool, Man City. We both went for Man City before we knew Liverpool had the fact that they had 7 goals in them. I mean.
That's very true, but it also was playing Farmers League, weren't it?
This is true. But no, don't forget, Scott, top Scottish teams could do well in the English Premier League.
Yeah, maybe on Football Manager if they give them a budget.
So says no English fan ever.
I know, right? But, I mean, we're seeing here, Leicester have got the ball in the defensive forward. That's an awful pass there. Not read, not anticipated by the Leicester player. And it was a logical kick. They do seem to be susceptible to just making these reckless mistakes, and they will have to cut that out if they are to keep the scoreline down at 1-0 as it is, Chris, don't they? Because they've given the ball away a bit more in the second half than they have done, and although they've cleverly won a free kick there, the defender going down, and there's another player down inside the box this time. It's a Leicester player down.
Yeah, don't know whether she's just. Oh, she put her hand up. Number 14, is it in the box?
Yeah.
She put her hand up and did take a seat down. So
that is a bit of a concern there. Hopefully it's just cramped. Seems to be getting stretched out by teammates, but we'll see what happens there.
In fact, she's more injured than the player that went down in the tackle.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, Chris, if someone cursed our facilities, because the men's team suffer with injuries at the 100 million ground, and I'm not sure if the ladies train now. I'm sure that they get access to somewhere. But
I think the ladies took over Beaver.
Yeah, I believe they have. But I just wonder: has somebody got sick of Leicester doing really well over these last 3 or 4 seasons, and have they decided to go and curse the training grounds? Because they've had a few injuries, haven't they?
It wasn't. Don't think it was built on the old. On an old Indian graveyard or something, do you?
Well, no. Look, either that or some angry Forest fans cursed it when they built it. I don't know. Because
get the tight budders in.
Yeah,
Beaver. What's it called? Beaver.
Belver Drive.
Belver Drive. That's it. Beaver Drive. Yeah, not a bad training ground for the women. To be honest with you.
No, great, and again, great to see from the club. They should have a training ground. It's good that that's now a seemingly set home in there.
Yeah, that is their set home, and good to see that they've got their own facilities.
Yes, and in time, maybe a stadium that of their own, like Man City do. But still, they get a good attendance for the games at the King Power, don't they? So
Yes, they
step
do.
in the right direction. And at the end of the day, all Leicester fans, Leicester women fans will be happy for. It's probably actually ironically the same as the men's this season, the way things are going, and that is staying in the division. At the end of it, that's the big objective, isn't it? In terms of the entirety of the season. So, you take this one with a pinch of salt if they go on to lose it. We said earlier in the show at the start, it's probably about performance, and so far, again, and we've said this throughout the 3 games we've watched the season, not too displeasing. Just need to tighten some aspects of the game up here. As a great block in there gives Man City yet again another corner in the game, but like I said in the first half, Chris, defending well as a unit, aren't they, Leicester?
Yes, they are. I mean, there's still only the 1 goal. I think last season you could have looked at this and said, "Oh, just what's coming in now." You could look at this and have said, "This would have possibly been 4 or 5." I mean, it might still be, but at the moment, I can't criticise the Leicester performance at all.
No, you can't. And again, it's not just one because it's 1-0. It's they've created chances, Chris. They've tried to be a threat to Man City and have been a threat. And again, sometimes you have to take moral victories in games.
Yes, you do
because of who you play, and we afforded some of the results across the ground, don't you? You think, wow, they're playing tough opposition, and you have to play them and that. But especially as well, Chris, the performance away from home is pleasing because Man City might be playing Leicester, but they hadn't won in 3. They're going a dangerous attack here, Chris. This could be Leicester switched on. Oh, well done there,
the Manchester
brilliantly
City player.
done. Leicester trying to break away, but you've got to take the flag there, and that's just maybe a little bit careless by the Leicester City striker to not be onside in that moment. You wait for chances.
I mean, she's pretty close to the linesman, but
yeah.
But I just hate offside with a vengeance. We should just get rid of it.
Well, that's a great debate to have another time. But some people will be in agreement with you on that, Chris. So offside's just, it would see how the game would go playing it under with the rules of today. As a cross comes to the box, it's a good header, it's off target, and that's been Man City's dangerous player, hasn't it? The number 21, I believe that is. Or is that? Yes, it is. The goal scorer. The difference between two teams as we've seen there.
We did actually have that conversation, if you remember. I think it was on Question Time. Somebody said, "What rule would you change if you could change one rule?"
Yes, I think it did.
Oh, the substitution coming up.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because goal hanger would be it's Green off and it's Natasha Flint going on for it. So Leicester are looking to get a body forward. Maybe there's still sensible opportunity in the field to get another player forward, and in that attacking area they can stretch Man City and put them under a bit of pressure.
If they came away from this, see if you agree with me here, Brad. If Leicester come away from this, let's say it's 1-1 and we get a point, that's almost like a moral victory, isn't it?
Oh, it's not just a moral victory, Chris. It's a major statement to make. Yes, Man City have had 3 losses, but Leicester's second season, to contrast the 6-0s, the 5-0s, the 9-0s or 10-0s that we suffered last season against the likes of Man U, Man City, and Chelsea last season. Coming away from 1-1 would be massive because it's away from home, Chris. You'd be pleased with a point against Man City if you were the home side, but if they can nick it away from home, it would be testament to the effort and resolution they've shown. Because, they had them chances in the first half, and you'd say on that basis Man City deserve to be in front. But we're nearly 70 minutes into the game, just over 20 minutes left to go. There'll probably be some injury time on top of that. But Leicester haven't had much to deal with in terms of real threat from Man City, have they? They've allowed chances, but nothing concrete in terms of what they've done going forward.
No, not at all.
And again, you wouldn't like a loss. 4 losses.
I'm a bit worried though, Brad. I can see a shadow there, which means the sun's come out. So I hope it's not getting too hot for the players.
Oh no, they might need to come off for a drinks break, mate. You never know.
Or did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
20 minutes to go.
Yeah, and again, more pleasing than what we've seen when we've watched Leicester play in recent weeks in general aspect. But the effort, the commitment, I don't think you might. It's easy to look at this, and I hope, and I'm sure Olivia will. Fuck's sake, your screen, piss it off. It was my head, and it's ruined my day now. But there you go. The pressure has told. We're just coming up to it here. Man City have got a second. We've got it on halfway line.
Oh, that was a bit naughty by the Leicester player. A bit of shirt tugging there.
Yeah, as the cross is going to get delivered in, probably where the header comes in and that, easy goal. Defender flattened. Not strong enough there. Again, ball watching, again, waiting, not reacting. Trying to react and not anticipate. And I hate your stupid stat, but I don't understand how it's so far ahead from live so much.
I've got to be honest with you, disappointed with the goalkeeping attempt there. I was.
I think the problem is it's a bullet header, Chris. She hasn't. It does hit the roof of the net. There's not really much she can do. But again, just like the first goal, Chris, the lack of reaction to try and get in front of the defender and the striker and get the goal. She easily had that. She easily had that dealt with.
I just think
she had the freedom. She had the freedom of the box to head that in, mate, and that doesn't help any keeper. As they're making subs here, it's.
I suppose
Chloe Kelly's gone off there, so her afternoon's done. For Man City, and that's
I think it looked worse than it was because she was just stood there and just put her arms up, almost like surrendering.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean the header was right into the roof of the net.
It was. I'm not saying she saved it. It's just what it looked like. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it did look like it, but no. On
Danny Ward-esque, you could say.
Yeah, and on second viewing, you look at it and you have a bit of sympathy with her. It's again, they're offside again now, and they've been offside a lot this. I think that's the 3rd or 4th offside. And look, I know it's 2-0, and I know that's more than likely the game done, and providing something drastic here from Leicester, which unfortunately we've not, as well as we've commentated, cursed ourselves and praised the defending. It was a sense of deja vu, really, wasn't it, Chris, for the goal? Because it was just a simple crossing, static defender, and she leapt.
Dare I say, you could see it coming.
Well, you could, because unfortunately, unlike in the first half, you couldn't see Leicester
7-1
scoring.
No. I mean, when you look at that, I know you don't like the graphic, but when you look at it, and I say, look at that line that goes across just under the teams and the score.
That's a great save, that's a shot off target, and it's a corner to Man City. But
there's hardly any yellow on there at all. We've had 27 attacks. They've had 71.
Yeah, but this, I mean,
you accept this is the second.
Yeah,
second season in the league, etc., etc. Yeah, you take all that on, but that's the scary stat, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is. As I'm trying to watch the screen just in hope. Well, apparently we had a dangerous attack, and then Man City had it on the screen. I hate your screen for being in the future, but because we're still dealing with an injury here, what's going on?
I know. There's nothing. There's nothing. I don't know that it's maybe not caught up. I don't know.
It's very weird.
Yes, they're all the same. I've tried 3 or 4 different ones, and they're obviously, with it being on the internet and down a web line, the link is a lot more up to speed than it is going up to satellite down via a TV screen or whatever. So I don't know. But then again, we're watching this on the internet, aren't we? I don't know. What is it doing? We've got an injury, mate.
It's gone loop here. I'm loading up the stream just in case. I'm pretty sure
No, I'm looking at an injury as well here.
Yeah, things going loopy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's more
I mean,
exciting than the screen. I've got to be honest with you.
yeah, and again, this will add on to stoppage time, which now Leicester will be, unless they get a goal, Chris, they'll be probably hoping just to see it out quick. But you've got to take the same impression as you have in the first half. All right, you want to break it down mentally. We're losing this half 1-0. If we can keep it that, lose the game 2-0 overall away from home. I still think, and it's strange to say it when you lose games, but at least we can talk about positives, Chris, because there has been moments. It's just been the same repeated mistake that's been punished by Man City in terms of the goal, because that's the only time really they've come under increased pressure, haven't they? Really, and it's been a simple, unavoidable. I think it's been avoidable, the goals, because the centre back stood still as we are finally getting this corner taken. Video screen can do what it likes now. It's injuring everybody and saying shots and everything as the corner is cleared out.
I think that was that injury we've just watched, to be honest with
you.
For
God knows. But the cross comes in. Leicester, see, they've dealt with free play crosses, haven't they, Chris? But
yeah,
it's when they've got caught lacking in numbers and they've been, and you'd be disappointed. I don't think it matters any standard. I don't think it matters if you're in the league below or you're a Super League side like these two clubs are. You're disappointed to concede 2 goals like that, as this could be a third.
Good tackle.
Oh, that's a great challenge.
Penalty.
He's given a penalty, Chris. He's given a penalty. I'm not too sure about this, and we feared this might happen. We wanted to see the resolve in Leicester. The penalty's given now. I haven't seen a replay of it.
I was just about to say the first tackle was a good tackle. She got the ball fairly there, and then she went in and
went after her there, didn't she?
Yeah, she caught her foot late. It was a penalty, I think.
And
I was just thinking.
I am not looking at your screen. I want to build the suspense.
Our screen's back up to date. Our screen is back with the penalty. Yeah, I was just thinking then. I don't want us to just collapse now and it end 5 or 6, in the last, and then this goes and happens.
Yeah, and it looks like it is. I'm not looking at the screen, so if it's come up goal already, you're not getting a reaction until I know. I'm not looking at the screen. I close one eye so I can't see it in my peripheral vision either. Will she save it, or will this really wrap up the points for Manchester City? Waits, steps up, goalkeeper dives. It's a great save, but the rebound's put in, and sum up luck, Chris. Sum up luck, because the goalkeeper, who I know it's early doors, I know there's still 12 minutes to go, Chris. I'm vying her for man of the match. I think she's been really unfortunate, and I think you've noted that's the look of Leicester's first opening games of the season, isn't it, Chris? Because she saves quite a well-hit penalty. She takes a gamble. She actually steps the wrong way at first and makes the ground, and then that could be the hat-trick from the number 20.
It wasn't the best penalty you're ever going to see. That said, there's no reason a goalkeeper should get anywhere near a penalty.
No, it's favourable for the striker all the time, Chris.
It should be top left, top right. If you go there with the ball, the goalkeeper's not going to get a chance. But obviously, the risk is that you miss it. I mean, it was unlucky. The girl was again hat trick for the girl, and she was quick onto it. It was disappointing, but let's just not end up this game. 5, 6, 7. It's ridiculous. This isn't a 3-0 game as things start. Well, it is obviously.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a bit cruel on the ladies here. Man City just making a few late subs, and they have just got to do it. I think a little bit of frustration got in there, a little bit of a panic, if you will, to try and clear the ball. It led to a penalty. It's a harsh scoreline. It doesn't really reflect the effort and work that Leicester have put in. Mm-hmm. But again, you said at the start of the show, Chris, and this maybe has managed it. Man City have probably had 4, 5 what you'd call clear-cut chances, and have taken 3 of them, Chris. And that shows you the difference. Leicester probably only had one and haven't taken it. And had they taken it, they may still have lost this game, but it would have made Man City stay really hard. And we never know. And unfortunately, we won't find out because that has put the final nail in the coffin,
Yes, I think
unfortunately.
it has. Leeds had got an equaliser in the men's game. Bamford scored within seconds of coming on, but it was ruled out.
But Chelsea will turn up anyway.
That was Arsenal. Leeds are playing Arsenal. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot that. Yeah.
No, it was what they want to. But he was a judge to have.
Been shit at football.
Yeah, he was a judge to have fouled. Eddie Howe is going absolutely bananas for Newcastle at Man United.
Leicester breakaway here, Chris. Could be a chance. Consolation would do them the world of good. Would they get a shot off? They do, and it's blocked. It's taken 80 minutes for them to be fair to Man City, whilst Leicester have been able to try and suffocate them until these last 4 or 5 minutes, Chris. It's taken a while. Man City have controlled this half, which is exactly what they're doing, is they're wasting more time with substitutions here. I feel like they've made about 8. But there we go. But you have to take heart in it. 3-0 is unfair, I think, reflection. I think Man City do deserve to win overall, unfortunately, I have to say. But it's nice to see that rare opportunity they had, they did go forward with the ball less. So they're still showing the effort. So they're not just going, oh, please make it 3-0. That's as bad as we deserve, sort of thing. They have got the ball on the front foot. So positive to take. It's just, unfortunately, the difference in quality has shown again in that final third. And that's something that I think Lydia in her post-match will probably want to pick up on.
Yeah. Tottenham Hotspur are beating Liverpool 1-0 in the Women's Super League. They're on 86 minutes and kicking off at 6:45. The last game of the weekend, Reading hosting Arsenal.
Yeah, well, that's Liverpool got themselves a shock opening day win, but I think they've been brought back down to earth since their promotion from the Division 1. People might not think that, but Liverpool are the team that came up this season. They replaced Birmingham in the league.
Yeah.
Not a bad result, maybe, if you're eyeing up teams for Leicester to be in and around come the end of the season. If Liverpool are not picking up too many points and not getting away from them too early. Reading... Who did you say they were playing, Chris? Sorry, I forgot.
Reading are playing Arsenal.
Arsenal are a very good side as well, Chris. So you may be looking at,
in fairness.
In terms of teams that Leicester we wanted to get points off, like Reading coming forward.
What we have to remember, and something we tend to forget, or I have forgotten, is that we have played one more game than most teams.
That is true. The one thing now as well, you have to, there's even more accountable for making sure this is now it in terms of goal scoring for Man City at least, and it doesn't go any higher than 3 is what we have been able to say whilst other teams around us haven't been winning is only losing 1-0, only losing 2-1. It gives you it almost becomes a point for you in this league because certain teams have already taken heavy defeats. Yes. So you're always kind of that can help you keep within touching distance or not be in that bottom place because you've got a better goal difference if you've not quite got the points on board. Has Man City won a free kick here? No, it's gone to Leicester's goal kick. No free kick there. But there's not really a lot going on. I mean, Man City don't really need to press the issue. They've got the 3 points. They're up and running for the season now. As we've got about 6 minutes, probably about 5 minutes added on at the end, although Leicester fans will be hoping the referee's got amnesia and forgot them 5 minutes for injuries. But now it's that cliche, isn't it? It's game management, isn't it, Chris? They just need to do.
Yes.
And Leicester will be hoping now. Not this on the head. It was one of them bonus games. Very, again, strangely, unless they score here, you'd say. Despite the scoreline, Chris, you would say that again they come away with more positives than they probably do negatives on this game.
Yeah, it's not I mean, 5 minutes to go, just over. There'll be probably a couple of minutes added on, but yeah, you can't. I mean, we're breaking away again here.
Yeah,
But
trying
no,
to
she's
break
on her
away.
own though.
No, and it's unfortunate, but this is what Leicester fans would have expected, Chris. But it's again, we've seen it again in these last 5 minutes. And again, okay, Man City have taken the foot off the accelerator, being 3-0 up, I'm sure. But at least Leicester haven't just gave the ghost up. Yeah, the result's dead. They're not going to get anything from it. It would have been nice, and they played well enough at points to maybe have merited at least still being in with a chance at this stage, Chris. But they just have to take it as a learning curve. It's quality they know they don't possess, with the greatest respect, compared to Man City, who have got World Cup winners, got internationals in their squad, and at the end of the day, the scoreline doesn't reflect the performance. I think we're both in agreement with that. And Lydia will want to keep their heads up from this because it's not as bad as it has been. And that's no mean feat to say that when you're losing to the likes of Man City, despite their start to the season.
Yeah, come on away here again.
Yeah, just got to keep their head.
On that last break that Leicester had, though, she was on her own. There's nobody up, but there was somebody on the outside. Maybe she should have played into some space in front of her that she could have run onto. I don't know. It's easy when you're sat here watching the game, isn't it?
Yeah. We get a bird's eye view of it, don't we? She's running with the intent to drive at Man City and try and cause them Lego. A goal here for Leicester in these last closing minutes. They can nick one in stoppage time. We know the outcome's gone, but be positive.
Hey, it always gives you a bit of confidence, doesn't it? We haven't scored yet. Well, we have scored this season, haven't we?
Oh dear, I hate your fucking scoring thing. Don't look. Man City have it on the.
I wouldn't have looked if you hadn't said.
I know, I hate it, mate, but I curse myself, so I have to jinx you. And they go on the left, and again, it's cleared out by Leicester, but it's into the box. And it's a shot. It's the bottom left-hand corner. And that's quality. You can't really say that. They've been run ragged this second half. Man City have kept the ball well. It's harsh. The scoreline there, the tied legs are probably shown there. That's probably the only real goal of somewhat quality, though, Chris. And I don't mean that to disrespect the other goals. One was a penalty, and that was a rebound. It's a bit deflating the scoreline now, but still, you just think, that's a quality goal. You don't save that anyway.
No, that's a goal that wouldn't have been out of place in the Premier League.
No, it definitely wouldn't have been. It was a fantastic finish. Harsh on Leicester, but you look at the other two goals, and they were very basic, weren't they? It was a simple get down the right. They crossed it in and a free header. So, you look at the game on aspects, and you think if Leicester can rule out the mistakes, you've got a closer scoreline. You probably say the game's only 2-0.
I'm going to be pedantic here, but when the score just came up, it said Manchester City 4, Leicester 0. I always thought we were Leicester City.
Yeah, I didn't know we changed our names. So what makes that happens?
Yeah, and I hate it when people say, "Oh, City this, City that," and they're talking about Manchester City like they're the only city, football club.
Yeah.
I mean, this scoreline, it's a shame. It's kind of that second goal. The penalty didn't help, but it was a penalty.
No. And we've had, and to be fair, we've not been the greatest help to ourselves at times. With Man City probably frustrating us and keeping the ball a lot better in the second half, we've kind of had the, what they say is that you get the lion's share of possession. Leicester really haven't had anything of it, and that's probably forced us into making a few reckless passes, hasn't it, Chris? Because we have not helped ourselves at times as it's back with the goalkeeper here. We're into the 89th. Well, we're into the 90th minute. It's come to the 90th minute, Chris. Probably a little bit now. They'll lean on the fact that they've conceded. They've let their concentration and levels drop.
Yeah.
And again, the scoreline more looks like a definite deserved win for Man City, but it also makes you forget of how much pressure Leicester were putting them under until that second goal went in, Chris.
I mean,
coming here behind.
You can't say that Leicester deserved a win. You can't. You
No,
probably struggle to say Leicester deserved a draw. Oh, not another one.
4 minutes. No, it's just
but
wide.
It's not a reflection of the game. I think that's what we should
Yeah.
say.
I think had Leicester lost this 2-0, you would have gone, okay, yeah, the pressure's told, but they're putting the resilience of defending. And again, Lydia won't hide from this in her post-match, and she won't hide from this probably in the dressing room. She talks to the players. She will let them know that for 70 minutes, Man City were not so much holding on, but they were still nervous that we were keeping them honest and keeping them true. And we have to rule as they're through here. Man City had a chance to really great save by, and I'm going to say, Chris, my man of the match. She's had the most to do in terms of defending. I think the defending overall has been great, but when she's been needed to be called upon, she's made some fantastic saves. Very unfortunate with the penalty. She made the save initially. She made 2 great saves in the first half. She's made a couple of saves in this half. My player of the match, whichever one you want to refer to it to be more politically correct, is going to be the number 22, the goalkeeper for Leicester. Again, I'm going to learn to pronounce her name, but I think she's done fantastically well in a 4-0 defeat, Chris. Basic mistakes that Lydia won't hide from and want to report.
No,
but she'll report.
I think we've probably got our black and green glasses on a little bit, but certainly from a Leicester point of view,
she's a shot in anger.
Well, yeah, but come on, like, what are you trying to do there? You're not going to get the ball in from there, No. All right, the game's over, but
Again, you just wonder that's just tired legs. The
number 10 must be fuming on this right-hand side. She is. She really stood there going, look, I was here. I was, But, the game, it would have been a consolation, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, Man City have got probably more in terms of goals than they probably deserve. Though they would argue they hit the bar and the goalkeeper made saves. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we are sitting a bit biased because we're more fond of Leicester, obviously, the women's side than we want to be. And we know how hard the job is and that. But I do. I think the goalkeeper's played really well, and she's and we've said it before. Some goalkeepers concede 3 goals and they still get man of the match because they made like 7 or 8 saves. And whilst Man City,
if she saved the penalty, that's what you can ask of her. And as we say every week in, week out at the moment with the men's, it's not all about the goalkeeper. Quite often, it's about the defence in front of them.
Yeah, and when you've got static centre backs not jumping for two of the goals as well, Chris, you can't do much as a goalkeeper. You're allowing that person to have a free header at the goalkeeper, and unfortunately for Leicester, they were clinical with their heading, and you take that out of it. Everything else she's been able to.
Well with the world, Big Ben's going.
I know, but again, you say that like the penalty save. The responsibility has to go on the players at the edge of the box. They need to be reacting quicker to these things. And that's the things that Lydia will want them to work on and improve on is their reaction, their anticipation. Because for every good chance Man City had, what's the stats showing they've had shots on target? I can't see it on there, on yours. I don't know what it's saying.
We've had no shots on target according to that.
Yeah, well, I meant Man City.
There we go. There we go. It's all over. It's all over.
Yeah.
Even the shouting's over.
I think
4-0.
Yeah, a bit of a harsh scoreline. Man City obviously deserved to win. I think 4-0 kind of glosses it a bit more than what it was. I think we defended well. It's the basic errors, Chris, that they do need to cut out. And Lydia won't hide from that in a post-match. I'm sure she'll get asked about that and she'll probably bring that forward. But look, it was a free hit for Leicester in terms of games. It could have gone a lot worse, and I know people might say you've conceded 4, but De Gea's had it before. Ward has probably been a crop or 2 at this season for us, and everything she had in her control in terms of being able to do anything about. She made some very crucial saves, Chris, to keep Leicester in that contest for as long as possible. The penalty, she saves it. It's up to the players then to try and react better to get there ahead of the Man City striker. The crosses into the box. We've talked about numerous times already in the game. If she doesn't have them, that fourth goal was a peach of a goal. Like I said, it would be goal of the month contender for sure. From the Man City striker. That goal aside, there's not really a lot she can do about the other ones, is there, Chris? She was beaten by a thing, and I think that's why I give her my man of the match.
Yeah, it's a very good good point. I mean, like you say, and Man City did what was expected of them. In the end, and you have to get to a point where you go like, well, okay, they played well, but it's Manchester City. There wasn't one player that stood out for me more than any others. But just to round the scores up, so yesterday there was the one game. Aston Villa lost 1-2 in the Battle of the Clarets to West Ham. The early kickoff today from Lee Sports Centre, Manchester United 4. Brighton and Hove Albion 0. From Walton Park today, Everton 1, Chelsea 3. From Brisbane Road, isn't that Orient? But Tottenham, Tottenham beat Liverpool 1-0, and as you can see there, Manchester City 4, Leicester City 0. Unfortunately, and Arsenal Leeds have missed a penalty in the men's. So
probably tried to convert it.
Yeah, it's not his night. Full time in the men's: Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 2, Man United 0, Newcastle 0, and Southampton 1, West Ham 1. And Leeds are beating Arsenal. Sorry, Leeds are losing to Arsenal. They've had a goal disallowed. They've had a penalty miss. Arsenal, they've got the luck with them this season, 1-0 with about 30 minutes to go there. And then, of course, you've got the 4:30 kickoff, Liverpool, Man City. Mate, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, my phone didn't want to behave, but I did the best I could with the materials I got.
So such is life. I used to say that to my wife. I've done the best as I can with what I've got. But
I could say something, but that'd be too horrible for me.
No, it's maybe why we're no longer together.
Yeah, well, you said it, not me, Chris. So put away with that then.
Oh, it's true, though. I laugh so much, but it is true. So, thank you so much. I don't know what's happening next week when I will see you again. So I will be in touch, no doubt.
No worries, mate.
If nothing else, there's the show next 9 o'clock next Friday for the Q&A show.
It'll be the Thursday night, won't they? I might jump on the post match.
You are more than welcome on that set if you want to. There won't be a separate show, like I say, because of the time. But by all means, I'll send you the link. Jump on, not a problem. But,
hopefully we're talking about 3 points because I think we need to.
I think we need to, don't we? We need to cheer ourselves up. Brad, your account, let me get my teeth in. Your YouTube site is now called Top 10 Battles. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Top 10 Battles is just a fun little way of everybody getting in their top 10 lists. Co-host with Chris's adopted son, the ginger one, we call him. Well, we don't call him that.
The only ginger in the village.
Yeah, we'll call him worse, but it's not past 9 o'clock, so
Yes,
but he's my main co-host. Chris, as and when he's available, and depending on the subject choice, because it is preferences. But yeah, basically, I'll have a list. Dan will have a list. If Chris is there, he'll give me his top 10. We've done football stadiums. We've done superheroes last week. And basically, you guys get to decide in the comment section who wins. It's just that part's just for a bit of fun. But you guys can also get involved. I'm the host, just remember that.
I won the superheroes. I think we should just
that's very true. That. You know what's funny? You won the voting poll for that on my show, and I'm winning the predictions league on your show.
I know.
Having each other on other shows for
I've got to be honest with you. I'm just going with what Anthony said on that one. Because I've no idea on yours.
I'll go with that, mate. I'll take that. But if people like top 10 lists, it's a hectic week for all three of us in terms of that, especially Dan with his championship games as well. So we'll try and squeeze a show in this week if we can. If you follow me on Twitter at Fulltime Focus, it's all one word. You'll get information on that. That's the best place that I post all the stuff about it. If you follow me on there, and that'll let you know when we're doing a show and what time, because this week's just hectic. But usually,
the links are always in the description below, so you can always pick them up there.
It's always at 9 o'clock, unless otherwise. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. No problem. I will let you go back to bed.
Yeah, I need sleep. So thanks very much, mate.
You and me both, mate. I'm going to buy you an alarm for Christmas. We'll buy you a company alarm.
I'll probably throw it out the window. So wouldn't I?
All right, mate. All the best. Thanks very much. Have a good rest of the weekend.
I will do, mate. Enjoy yourself.
Care. Cheers. Like I said, the links to Brad's channel is in the description below, so please go over there. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun and banter, and that's what life should be all about, because you do not know when it is going to end. This show is going to end now, but I will be back at 9 o'clock, and I will be back I will be back with, he says, desperately trying to find it, with this.
Broadcasting live from Trump Towers. Wait a minute. Now, hear this.
I'm Donald Trump, and this is not fake news. It is Leicester Till I Die Radio, the ultimate blend of sport and music.
No.
It is. It's a Sunday night show, ending the weekend off in the best possible way. And this evening we have got the intro quiz as part of the show as well. The aforementioned Ginger one, he will be taking on his good lady Kate, and we'll be seeing who comes out on top. And of course, don't forget, it is October.
Happy Halloween. Do try not to die.
Indeed, it is Halloween. I will see you at 9 o'clock. Don't forget mixcloud.com/LTID radio, or just go to www.LeicesterTillIDie.com/radio and give us a follow, and you can listen in. It's a bit of fun, football, banter, chatter, laughter, silliness, whatever's allowed legally. Take care, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you then. Good night.
That's all, folks.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
Leicester Till I Die TV. They think it's all